Awesome. Excellent. All right. Well, why don't we get started? It looks like everyone is just about in. Oh, and we're getting people answering where they're all over the place too. That's wonderful. Well, welcome in. Welcome to our August town hall. I am Kate Zeitfogel, Director of Customer Success here at Cadre. I'm excited to have you all here joining us on our first time talking about how to really improve your profile by diving in and showing you different profiles. We've got a small cadre of Cadre team members today joining us. We've got Kim Korhonen, our General Manager and Senior Account Manager. We have Bianna Spence, our Customer Success Associate. I'm Michael Schauman here, who is our Director of, oh goodness, I'm about Business Success. I can't remember. I've just messed up Michael's title and he's going to yell at me for this later, I'm sure. But Michael's here too without his camera on. I'm excited to see all of you with your camera on as well. As always, please feel free to drop in those questions in the chat, raise your hand, or jump right in because we love hearing from you all. But as I mentioned, today, I want to show all of you a couple different profiles so that we can compare and contrast, look at what's working and what's not working, and how we can improve those profiles, what clients are seeing, and how to make it more visible to them. So while I get my camera or my screen shared with everyone. Excellent. Welcome in, everyone. You should all be seeing my profile at the moment. As you can see, we've got my full legal name in here because that's how you need to search for me with a background check. And we've got an old photo of me in here. I could probably update that, make it a little bit clearer in here. And as you can see, I've got some reviews. They can only see it if they go into Cadre itself, though, my location. I've uploaded a video, so let me go ahead and show you all that.
Hi, I'm Kate Zeitfogel. I've been a travel director for 6 years. I've worked across.
And as you all can see, I filmed my video this way, which is why you're only seeing about this much of my face. So if you're finding that that is the case, we are working to find a way to reformat it so you don't have to go back and update it. But if you did film it this way, go ahead and go back if you're thinking you've got some time for it and film it this way. This way it'll show up properly. And I know that we've got a few other people out there with videos that are filmed in the landscape mode, so it'll show properly. And we'll show some of you in a few minutes, but this is what it looks like when you film it in that portrait mode. You only get your forehead. This is also in here where you can ask out for outside reviews, but let me come back to that later on. Let me go down and just show what the rest of the profile with all of my content looks like in here. So we've got my bio in here. It's short, it's sweet, but it kind of cuts right to the chase. I can probably weed out some of this information right up front, kind of fluffy, doesn't really tell you anything. I did start in 2012, as it says in here. And beforehand, I was working with Disney, which that's kind of a nice name to drop every once in a while. I'm just going to scroll down and show you all the rest of my profile. And it's pretty bare bones, as you can see. I've got some specialties, some skills, some industry experience, but as you'll notice, we do call out on-site specialties because it is important if you're looking in your profile in your expertise area. You've got two places. You can be an expert, have some expertise in that on-site area as a travel director, trip director, on-site freelancer. That's all of that on-site work that you're going to want to highlight. The other one is that office or remote planner work. So all of that pre-planning, ahead of time work that you know how to do, that's a separate area. If you know both, make sure you have both of those selected in your profile so that they both show up in here. It's also important because when we go to invite you, us and other clients out there, when we go to invite you and find you, we can only find you for that specific type of work. So if you only have on-site selected and I'm looking for office remote planner work, I'm not going to be able to find you. So make sure you have both of those selected in there. So this is mine. It's pretty bare as I keep scrolling down, and we're down to the got questions area. So it's real bare bones. I'm going to hop over to Lana here. She's one of our employees here, and she's got a lovely photo. Lana's photo is really glamorous in there. And Lana also has a video. I'm pretty sure she filmed hers correctly.
Hello, I'm Lana Wass, a Cadre freelancer from Chicago. Over the span of my 30-year career, I worked in both the service and client side of the meetings industry. An overview of my experience includes 5 years in the hotel industry in sales and convention services, and over 25 years on the client side as a marketing director and a corporate meeting and incentive planner, or both. And for most of my career, other than the hotel experience, I worked and played in the financial services industry. If I were to shine a spotlight on the areas that I bring the greatest value, I would say they are strategy and execution and planning and logistics. I look forward to helping many Cadre clients deliver successful meetings and events. Thank you and have a great day.
Awesome. So she filmed it in that landscape mode, which is fantastic. We've got great view of her. If she were to go back and redo this, my one suggestion for her would be to have less backlighting, maybe some more front lighting so that we can see her face a little bit better, especially with that.
Annoying to have like,
Yeah.
oh, you're not listening. Before I was just staring at the part of her face that I could see,
Yes.
wondering if it was my laptop.
Yeah, that's a really great point.
Yeah.
Exactly. So just making sure that she's more in focus because we want to see you. We're here to see you. But she spoke clearly, great details all packed in there, but spoke clearly and concisely. So great video overall, and filmed the right way. So we can actually mostly see her because of that backlighting. And Lana's profile down below, she's got some more meat on her profile in her about area. But as I pointed out on mine, where I just have the on-site specialties, she's got both on-site specialties and those planning specialties as well. So she's got both of those selected in her profile. So if you have those skill sets for both sides, make sure you have both of them selected. And you'll know they're selected if they're both in blue. Blue's kind of our color. And she's got a lot of skills in here and industry experience. So that's looking really great. So compared to mine, she's got a lot more skills. She's got both on-site and planning specialties, and her bio has a lot more going on. Her video is easier to watch because you can see a face rather than just my forehead in there. So it's a lot easier to be intrigued by Lana's profile rather than mine. Pretty straightforward in terms of some simple things that each of us can work on for our profiles to spruce it up. I need to update mine, period. It's a little outdated. I need that new photo, and I need to update my video to turn it the other way. But even more importantly than that video, I would say would be getting all of those skill sets in there and making sure that I've got both all of my on-site specialties and skills and all of my planning specialties and skills. Now, I don't have any certifications like CMP or anything else like that, but having all of that in there would also be really helpful to show off all in here. Now let me pop over to someone else. And the reason why all of these little blue bubbles are so important is because that's all searchable data. So it's searchable. Oh my goodness. So look at Elizabeth Walker here. Her about is very short, very short, not much detail in there, very fluffy information in there. She's got both on-site and planning skills, which is great, but not very much left in the skills area. So how much does she really know? A little hard to tell. I would say Elizabeth here has quite a bit of work to do. If I were to start, I would probably recommend working on her about me area, because 3 sentences with not much detail is not the most helpful for clients, especially if they don't know her personally. So that would be a great place to start. But all of these blue bubbles, as I was saying, all of these are searchable. So it's both searchable within Cadre. So when any of our clients are posting their project, finding freelancers, finding TDs to either invite or to accept their offer, they can search and filter using any of these keywords in here. But also, as we keep building and as we keep growing, we're also using all of these for SEO, search engine optimization, within Google as well. So as people type in event freelancer, hospitality desk, Denver, Colorado, you'll be able to be popping right up onto those front pages of Google using all of these. We are new, so it is coming up over time. But that's why these are so important, because it's searchable both within Google, but it's also searchable within Cadre. And really the one within Cadre is the one that we care most about at the moment, right?
Kate, how many characters are in the bio? Like your CV and a snapshot?
Yeah, it is. It's like a CV and a snapshot. I believe it's 500 characters because it's really short. It's a great place to highlight those really important details. Like David here has his first event. This is great, having the exact date and the location or the event for it. But he can go into more detail into his whole experience through his specialties, through his skills, but also through his work experience area. So cutting it down to 500 characters, which is why being concise, like David here, highlighting those really important areas, so that it can really entice as many people as possible. And that's a great way of putting it, Kim, as a CV snapshot. Because we don't have the ability to just upload a resume in here. All of that gets added in here. And again, all of these blue bubbles in here, they're all searchable items within Cadre in here. And as you can see down here, David's added some of his outside experience, outside to Cadre experience down in here, which shows up with little details down here. So it just spruces up his profile even more. It gives his profile more depth and more information to any of our clients that we share this with, or any other clients on the platform that are viewing your profiles. Knowing all of these details can also direct interviews more directly. Knowing what you've done before, what your experience is, makes that interview, especially if it's just 30 minutes, that much faster, easier, and an easier sell overall. Excellent. Well, here are all of these profiles right in here. I'm just going to scroll back through some of them to give us a little bit more information. So if we have all of that work experience outside of Cadre, and we're looking to get those reviews, like Lana in here, she's got tons of experience, but she needs to be able to show that off a little bit. Requesting a review right in here, getting that information will pop this up. So if you want, you can just copy the URL right in here, Control C or Apple C on your Mac, and sending it to any of your previous clients. They'll receive this form right in here where they can leave their feedback for you, 5-star basis, like on Amazon or Airbnb, and put in a few words about you. They can be as specific or as vague as they would like. And then click on continue, and it'll post right to your profile. There is no wait and approve process. It takes a couple moments just to process to make sure that
Honey,
there aren't any.
when you have a second, can I fill you in on a couple of things?
Hey, Kate,
Yeah,
could you make your screen a little bit bigger?
Oh,
It's difficult for them to see the font.
I'm on this
sure. Here we go.
webinar.
Here we go. Excellent.
Thank you.
Sure. So if we go again right in here into the URL and copy, and we can add that into any email to any of our past clients. Again, they'll receive this form right in here, and it gets posted right to your profile right away.
These are clients outside of Cadre?
Yes. So anyone that you have worked with outside of Cadre, you can send this to. So I know that we don't have all of the clients out there. I would love to get there, but presumably you have worked with other people. And so you can absolutely send this to anyone, whether they are in Cadre or not, to get that feedback from them. That's a great question. And to get there, let me show you again how to get there. So right from your social profile in here, and to get to your social profile, just as a reminder, let me pull up Lana's, oh, David's right over here, perfect.
Okay.
Let me log into David's profile here and I'll show you how to get there. Just by clicking on your name right in the left column here. Let me make this a little bit bigger for everyone too. Here we go. So just by clicking right here under his name, it'll pop right up your social profile. And that's true for all of you. When you log into your profile and you click on your name, right in that, or over in that left dashboard, right in that left dashboard, goodness, over here, it'll pop right up in a new tab. So you can see at any time, any updates that you make, what it looks like in real time for any client out there. And when you're ready to ask for those reviews, you're going to click on the write a review button in your social profile, and you'll get your feedback form right in here. And again, you'll just copy, paste the URL right in here and send that over. Quick and easy. And again, it gets posted as soon as they send feedback, it gets added right into your profile. Quick and easy, no need to wait. And as you can see, David's got 5 reviews already, but reviews are only viewable within Cadre itself. So if they want to see what other people have seen, they'll need to log in, create a profile and log in to see any reviews that other people have left for you. But they don't have to have a profile in order to write a review for you. And if you're really proud of all of the work that you have done in here, you've spruced it up a lot, you've added that experience in here, and you want to simplify your life and get more of those bookings in Cadre here, sharing your profile, you can share it in a variety of ways. Again, if you want to just put it on one of your social profiles, we can link it directly in here, or just copy the link down in here and copy and paste that anywhere in an email, on any social platform that you like, and it'll directly take everyone to this social profile so they can find you, check you out, write a review if they would like to, or they can create their profile to start booking you here on Cadre as well. But that's a great way to show off your skills, update your pages, and get those bookings out there. And again, all of these blue items are searchable. And the more you have in there, the easier it'll be to find you. And so it can be a little daunting, especially with all the skills in there, but the more detailed you are, the more likely you're going to be found. So even though David here has CVent in here, I would even get more granular than that, because people will be very specific. I'm looking for someone who knows CVent Flex Web Build, and I need to know that they know specifically that set of details, or I need them to know the attendee hub, and they need to be experts in that. So getting really granular, because you have the opportunity to really expand and flush this out. That's a really great way of doing that, is just getting very granular on the items that you are very good at. And one of the other things I'm going to point out is one of the most searched for skills, or one of the most frequently added skills in here, are languages. So even if it's just your native language, or English as a second language, either one, English is one of the most commonly added skills in event postings, interestingly enough. And Spanish, French, I believe we've seen German and Dutch recently as well. So we've seen a lot of languages being requested or at least noted in the postings, in addition to a lot of CVent specific requests. So if you're looking for a place to start to update, those would be two that I would recommend. If you have additional language skills, additional CVent skills, those are two great places to start. Now I'm going to pop back over to David's profile here. I'm just going to go back down into the My Profile area. And where we've been pretty much is in this expertise area. So if you're looking to update your profile, this is where you're going to do it, in the My Profile under expertise. And as I mentioned before, if you have skill sets on both sides, you're great at being on site, but you're also great with all of that pre-planning work, make sure you have both of these highlighted in blue. Just know if it's in blue, that's what you're looking at, and that's what you're agreeing to, essentially. And here's how it breaks out. So it breaks out both of my on-site specialties in here, mine, David's specialties in here, his planning, the on-site or off-site office remote positions right in here. And you can add up to 50 skills in here. So there's a lot of room to really get granular in here, which I definitely recommend. The more you have in here, again, the more searchable you are, the more findable you are, which is always a good thing, especially as clients start adding even more details. We're working with them to get more detailed in their postings. We're finding that when they start getting detailed, they're getting very detailed. So go for it. Get very detailed. Be in advance of them. Plan ahead. Adding your staff rate in here, your planner pay rate in here, your industry experience, certifications. And again, his bio in here is pretty darn good. Should be 500 characters, I believe is what the limit is in here. So like Kim was saying, it's a snapshot. So highlight those top items. You're an event planner and an on-site travel director, we're going to assume that you know how to work hard. So putting that I'm a hard worker is kind of redundant, right? So make sure that instead of using up words saying I'm a hard worker, use those words to express when you started and be specific. The date or the year in here, I started in 1998 at the Detroit Auto Show, is great, rather than 20 years ago, I worked in Detroit, which is a lot more vague. The more specific, the better. And that's pretty much true across the board. And then I'm going to pop right over here to the work experience area. Just walk through posting this, because I know that we get a lot of questions about how to add your work experience. So naturally, you start with add. You're going to select which one it is. I'm going to go with on-site, since I know a lot of people on here have that on-site experience. Select those specialties, whatever they happen to be, your project name, and make sure there's a check mark in every single box. Check mark, so I'm good there. Check mark, so I'm good there. Nothing happened in 2020. Click add. Excellent. And so now it's been added right in here. And if I were to refresh David's profile in here, his social profile in here, I'll scroll down. And now it's been added in there as well. So the biggest hangup that we're seeing with this one is that there isn't a check mark in every single box here. So just make sure that, especially for the location, that you get it from the drop down from Google, not necessarily the one from whatever browser you're using. But if you'll notice, I'll do Detroit again, this drop down in here, it should look like this, and you'll be able to select the exact location. I didn't know there was a Detroit, Oregon. That's interesting. So just make sure you've got a check mark in every single box and you should be all set. I'm going to go ahead and delete this. There we go, and go ahead and save it. Excellent. I am now going to open it up. I'm going to stop sharing a moment. I'm always happy to turn it back on, but I would like to open it up to the rest of you. Are there questions about anything that I've shown you today, about Cadre in general? We're here to help answer your questions, and we would love to hear from you. Also, if you have any recent experiences working on site or doing pre-planning work that you want to share, maybe something, a trend that you're seeing out there, we'd love to hear what you're seeing out there as well, and whether your fall is looking busy as well. So we're here, happy to answer questions. I've not had a chance to look at the chat box yet, so if you have questions, feel free to just jump right in.
One thing, Kate, make
Yeah.
sure your picture is a professional picture. It's not you on a vacation, at a wedding, graduating from high school, a little eensy weensy picture from your passport. I mean, I've seen all types of things. It needs to be a professional picture that you're going to show your future client. So that has to fit, that professional image has to fit your bio and skill sets and all that too. It's not just I need a picture so I can keep going on and be active. That really does make a difference.
That's true. That's a really great point. And Kim has seen this a lot with the clients that she's working with, where it's a great profile, except for the photo being itty bitty or a cartoon picture or a logo of something else. And the client does not want to contract someone with essentially an incomplete profile in that regard. So a quick photo, neutral background is my recommendation, good lighting, neutral shirt, light makeup if you're wearing makeup, and just make sure your hair is looking nice and professional. You all know the drill. You should know this pretty easily, but taking that nice, quick professional photo, you can even do it with your phone these days to get a nice looking profile photo in there. What other questions do we have out there, everyone?
There's
go
a
for it.
question in the chat. If we also work a non-freelance job, should we include those in the work experience?
That's a great question. Absolutely. As long as it's event industry related, absolutely. I know people, especially like Lana, who I showed you earlier, she worked, I don't remember which association she worked for, but worked with them for many years in their meeting planning department. And adding that information is always great detail to have in there. And my recommendation, because you can only add the work experience as a year, 1 year at a time type of thing, I recommend breaking it down year by year. And presumably you've grown with each year, taken on new responsibilities, adding those details into, oh, if someone could please mute there. Thank you. I appreciate it. Adding all of those details so that other clients can see your growth is a great way of adding that work experience in there, would be my recommendation.
I got another one in the chat.
Sure.
This one's from Susie. What recommendations would you make for those of us fairly new to the specific industry as far as our bio? And also, how much we emphasize skills if only done a few times?
It's a great question. I think that it's a fairly I think that you can always find something in each job posting, especially that you can attach yourself to, or at least call out on. I would say, especially if you're new to the industry, be honest with what you've worked on, be honest with your skill set, but also be updating it. It's pretty easy to get in there and just add a new skill set or two once you've acquired it. And then it's updated immediately so that everyone can see it. So as you learn those new things, each day, I'm sure we're all learning at least one new thing that might be useful somewhere down the line. So adding that in there is always a great idea, especially as you keep acquiring that skill set. I also believe short and sweet is a really good way to go for the bio. Especially if you don't have all of those details, like I don't have the amount of details that Lana or David do in their bios. I don't have the experience that either of them do either. So there's nothing wrong with 3 sentences if those 3 sentences make an impact, if that, so as with most other answers around here, it depends. But those would be my recommendations for getting those targeted and focused so that even though you're new to the industry or newer to the industry, you're still able to put your best foot forward.
I would add your tech skills to the bio also, because that's really
Absolutely.
relevant. Since every program you need to bring your computer and be proficient in Word and Excel and maybe mail merge or whatever, and not just the CVent and those types of things, but that's something
true.
else you need to add to your bio.
That's a really great point, and adding that all to your skill set too. And bios can change over time also. So starting out with highlighting that you are a pro at Excel and Google Suite, and that you've done these 3 events, that's a great way to start highlighting yourself. And then as you acquire more skill sets, changing it up a little bit in that bio and in those skill sets. I see a question in here about volunteer work. Absolutely. I think that as long as it's industry related, adding that information in there is always good detail. I mean, it's always hard work, volunteer or not, and it all requires a lot of planning and dedication. So I definitely say go for it. I don't consider it padding your resume, so to speak. So I think it's just good information to have. That's my opinion. Kim, go ahead and change my mind if you think so. What other questions?
There is another one from Carol.
Excellent.
And sorry, I'm like muting everyone. It is, would you include past clients you worked with or worked for with ETD?
I would presume that most ETD clients that we've pretty much got that covered with our account managers, and that we're working on getting some like past work reviews in there, but it's a little time and money issue trying to get all of that information in there. But I would say for ETD, like previous Edward Jones, it's just going to come to Kim or Ashley. And
We haven't done anything for the managed accounts for any like reviews, anything. It's been super busy and we haven't figured out that portion yet because every client's different. So
sure.
Most important is your skill sets in your bio for your profile.
For some people who don't know what ETD is, can you tell us what ETD is?
Absolutely. So Cadre a couple years ago, actually was the beginning of 2021, Cadre acquired a small events staffing organization called Executive Travel Directors. And a Cadre is an open platform, so any client can come on and post their need and contract a freelancer on here. However, we've got a few clients that are just so large and so just large organizations that they prefer to have us essentially manage it. So we have a handful of account managers like Kim who manage those accounts, taking those requests, receiving the staffing details and the needs for those clients and getting those entered into the system. So we have 2 different types of programs that get entered into Cadre here. Those entered by managed clients like Kim or Ashley or Debbie are some of our managed clients, or by any other client that's out there doing it themselves, able to just post the project right in there, look for you and get you invited in here. I hope that helps answer some of those details for you. But along those lines, something else that's important to keep in mind is that clients also are able to post events either publicly or privately. So a lot of those clients who already know who they're going to contract, they'll post it privately and contract those people that they know. But we do have a lot of clients out there who are looking to add to their workforce, who need to add people to their team because people have either retired or their budget has shrunken in office and they need to add to their team one way or the other. And so they're posting their projects publicly and getting those new to them faces added to their team. So we've got a couple different things going on Cadre, but I hope that helped answer some of those questions. What other questions can we help answer for everyone? Excellent. Well, we do also want to point out that we have several knowledge base areas. We've got an entire knowledge base, and I know that Biana has just added some of that information in here, where we've got a lot of those frequently asked questions. Go right in there, ask your question, and we've got a lot of videos linked to that. We also have our YouTube channel with a lot of our how-to videos on there. And I see that Biana's added that link in there as well. Go ahead and bookmark it, subscribe to our channel. We're adding videos to it every single month with the latest and greatest how-tos. And as we keep updating and making new changes to the platform, we're keeping those details updated in there as well. We frequently get questions about who do I contact if I have a question about something. How do I know who to contact? And here's a good way to keep in mind who to contact. If it is regarding the platform, how do I make an offer? How do I change my offer? How do I send expenses? Send that to our support team at support@hirecadre.com. Our support team will get back to you as quickly as they can. We have both that live chat. So if you need that immediate response, need that immediate help within working business hours, we've got team members that are dedicated to that. If you prefer a little longer time, maybe it's after hours, send an email to support@hirecadre.com and we'll get back to you as quickly as we can with those answers. If it's a question about an event itself, what time do you need people on site? What are the work hours? What are you expecting? What is the job role entail? Put all of those either to your client directly, if it's someone that you're already in contact with, or if it's a brand new posting that you're seeing there on Cadre, there's that Q&A section. And that's where it's really designed to ask those questions like, what are the hours? Are you expecting thousands of people? And could you just tell me more? All of that is great for that Q&A section. If it's a question about payment, ask our accounting team. They're the best ones to ask about any kind of payment questions, and they can be reached at accounting@hirecadre.com. And I believe Biana has added all of that into the chat, and we'll have her add it again a little bit later on. But again, if it's a money question, accounting, if it's about Cadre in general, ask our support team. And if it's about the event, go into that Q&A section and get those questions posted. I've been working with our clients to get them to answer more regularly, and I've been seeing some improvement on that end. Hopefully you have too. But again, it's a learning process for all of us. So I do appreciate everyone who are just joining us for the first time to Cadre, but also those who have been with us for a few years now and are continually learning the process. So what other questions can I help answer for other people? Kim, I see a question that maybe you can answer. Can you explain incentive trip work?
It's not your regular meeting. It's a company that has their employees that want a trip for maybe sales or whatever. And, you know, the planner plans it, then they go to Hawaii, whatever they're going to, and the PACs are on site on this incentive trips, which sometimes they might have meetings, but other times it's activities and dinners, maybe award ceremonies, things like that. So it's not just all work, it's play.
Excellent. Cool. I know that we've seen a few of those posted recently, so that's a great question. Let's see, what other questions do we have in the chat here? Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say Lisa's is she doesn't see her work experience on her page. How is that provided to clients?
It's on, as long as it's included in that work experience area in your profile, it'll show up down at the bottom. So as long as it's in that area, it should show. But send us a screenshot if you're not seeing that, and we'll see if we can troubleshoot it for you.
It's something you would have to add. Any program that you book through Cadre is not going to show up.
True.
And that's not public knowledge.
Right.
Like ABC company might not want everybody to know that you worked 5 of their programs. So you can put like Kate said, you fill out and you post it to put a couple relevant types of experience in that area, but you add it yourself. Sorry, Simon.
There was another question from Tawny. I have many years of planning experience. Should I list skills under the appropriate section to show broad experience, even though right now I am only looking for TD work?
Yeah, I would, because a lot of times, at least from what I have seen, a lot of clients, even if they're looking for someone on site, they still like knowing that you have that planning experience. It makes it a little easier to hand over the reins, especially if they're looking for another right-hand person to be on site. So I would put that in there, because when they pull up your profile, they're able to see that you have all of that information. Now, if you get invited to one of those planner projects because they see your profile, you can always pass. It's just that little red pass button next to the position. And all that does is it lets the client know that you're either busy or you're uninterested. You don't even need, there's no place really to add a note. You're just passing on it and letting them know that you're all set. You're not interested in that position. And it's just information for them. So it just shows up that you've declined the position and they can move on rather than waiting and hoping and wishing that you might respond. So pass on that if you are not interested, but you do get invited. But I absolutely would include that information. The more information, the better, I think. Let's see, I see a question in here. Do the skills you choose determine which projects show up in your queue? If you update your skills, do the projects update? That's a great question. No, you should be able to see all publicly posted projects in there based on the expertise that you've chosen. So if you only have on-site chosen as your expertise, you're only going to see those on-site positions. If you only have the office remote selected, you're only going to see those office remote positions. If you have both of those skill sets, definitely click on both and you'll be able to see all of those posted. Now, right now it's a little quiet. End of summer is a little quiet at the moment. So I know that it's a little low on postings at the moment, but I've been talking with several clients, and from what it looks like, fall is going to be coming in pretty big, which will be exciting. But I would say now is a really great time to take those few minutes, take that hour, set an hour aside, make that video if you haven't done it, spruce up your profile, update your bio, add those skill sets, get real granular so that after Labor Day, when people are really in that mindset for staffing for the rest of the fall, for the beginning of Q1 for 2023, all of that, you're ready. And all you have to do is just update a couple things as you acquire those skill sets. That's my recommendation.
We got another question.
Sure.
Are there any plans in the works to add a comments option for when you pass on a project?
It's not in the works at the moment, but we can definitely take a look at it. We can bring it up with our tech team, but it's not currently in the plans, but we can look at it. Cool. What other questions do we have? For the incentive trip Baha Mar that is posted in projects, it states the start date and end date and the pay. So are you planning the incentive during that time? I don't know. None of us here posted that project. It's not one of ours, so we don't have those details. In this situation, I absolutely would recommend reaching out in that Q&A section, reaching out to the client directly that way. Again, it's not one that we are staffing or that we have the details on. So reach out to that Q&A to the client that way. Is there a way to remove already booked jobs? I'm not sure.
Profile?
I'm not sure what you mean there, Corinne, in terms of already booked jobs, but as soon as a position is contracted, it's removed from your dashboard. If you're contracted for it, it'll show up under your active contracts. But once someone is contracted for it, it'll be removed. Now, I know that there are a few positions posted right now that have like an August 8th start date, so last week. And I know that the clients are currently interviewing people for those projects and will be updating start dates. They just haven't gotten the go-aheads from their higher ups. So they're just waiting to get those details before making those updates. But I'm guessing that that's what you mean by those. But once it's contracted, it's removed and taken off of your profile, so you won't see it anymore. And if you have made an offer on that position, you'll also receive a notification that the position has been filled. So you won't be able to see it any longer. I hope that helps. Cool. Excellent. What other questions? These are great questions.
I have a question.
Go for it.
I've had this before. So sometimes when a job posting is out there and it's been there for like, 2 months or whatever, and no one's heard anything, are you guys in your area going to be working and pushing those open jobs out there with non-managed clients to set a time frame? It's like, where are you on this subject, or where are you on this posting? We need to move it along or move it out.
Yeah, and we're already doing that. And a lot of the ones that you're still seeing lingering out there are those clients that have gotten back to us saying, I'm just waiting to hear back from my hiring, my higher ups before I can pull the trigger on this. So they're just waiting before they can make those updates and get those contracts. But I think you'll notice that it's getting better, which is part of the reason why you probably only see a handful of projects posted right now, because we're trying to be more on top of our clients with those outstanding contracts and outstanding positions. So it is something that we're diligently working on as well. And I have noticed that a lot more clients are getting more accustomed to updating their needs as well. So if the need is no longer needed, they'll remove the position that way, or updating and getting it contracted so that you have the most up-to-date information in there. But that is the biggest holdup that I've been seeing so far. Is it's summer and bosses are on vacation and holding up the approval process. What other questions can I help answer for everybody? We've got about 10 minutes left before I let you all go, but I don't mind letting you go early because I know everyone is busy and I do appreciate you all joining us today. I hope that this has been a useful town hall. We do have another one lined up for September. Hopefully you've all gotten the save the dates because we've lined them up for the rest of the year. If not, feel free to reach out to us at support@hirecadre.com and we'll make sure that you're on that list so that you can stay up to date. Again, we're always happy to hear the latest and greatest from you all. So we're excited to see you in September. Enjoy the rest of your summer, everyone. I'm going to give it just a second or two more before I let you all go, just in case. Bianna, while we're waiting, would you reshare those details with everyone, please? Thank you very much, my dear. Excellent. And again, if you have a question, go ahead and chime in. You don't even, pardon me, you don't even have to type it in. I'm happy to talk to you directly as well. I like hearing from everyone. Although maybe next time I should remind everyone to hit mute before we get started. So I think we'll do that again next time. Thank you all so much. It seems like we're in a good place to get going. Thank you everyone once again for a great town hall. Happy to see all of your faces. I hope to see you all in September. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday and the rest of your summer. Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you.